Hello guys and welcome to round 8 of the GT World Challenge presented by Simpit ACC. I'm your host M.Vowles as always, and today we are at the wonderful circuit of the Americas in Texas. We've actually got quite a few guys with us today. We've actually even have Rd8 making his debut as a part of 420 Motorsport alongside Cal L. Both of them are running for 420 Motorsport. And it'll be the first time we see an Audi on the grid with us today. But the guys are already into free practice, so we'll head on over and see how everyone is getting on. So we're currently looking from the helicopter cam down at Celine Richard. She's here today, looking to take her sixth. No, sorry. Yes, her sixth. No, I can't even remember how many wins in the season she's on. I do apologise. But like I said, we also do have Rd8 Garcia with us today for his first race. Jaroslav Galkov coming off another fun race for him. Alex Lafros just joined us as well, so we're up to 7 drivers today so far. So good to see a few new faces out there on track. So we have Mr. Rd8 Garcia in his Audi. Again, that's the first time we've seen this car on track this season. Heiko Sherman, he is currently sat in pit lane. So is let's do Alex Lafros, and Cal L is in pit lane. But we do have big Chevy Camaro of East Academy Step. I expect that power of the Camaro to do quite well here. May struggle with some of the corners, but down the long straights you will have some great power to put down to the track. See Rd8 Garcia, it's just come off the track at the moment, just mostly looks like making sure the car feels right. So the first person on the lap at the moment would be Celine Richard. Our current points standing leader. What we'll have to do now is we'll have a quick look at our current points standing. So, as I said, Celine Richard in first with 161 points from Heiko Sherman with 122. In third place, Jaroslav Galkov with 91. Stephen McCaffrey, who's not here at the moment, he's on 64. Kenny Step, he's here. He's on 55 points. Natalie Lee, she's not here at the moment. She's on 55 points as well. Alex Lafros, he's here. He's on 22 points. Cal Al, he's again another driver here on 20 points. Callum McLeod, again another driver who's not made it today. Chris Generelli, another one who's not made it today. Roots of Am Europe, we might see, we might not, depending if he's back from work or not. Again, Devon Booth, he's only just got his PC sorted and back up and running, so we don't know if we'll see him as of yet, but as we can see, place 13, Rd8 Garcia for 420 Motorsport in his Audi. He will be getting some points today as he has made today's race. And bringing up the end of the group is Olaf Snarkvist in his Camaro. Again, another driver we haven't seen jump into the races so far. So we'll head back over to track, as Celine Richard does have the fastest time in free practice at the moment. It'll respect the time of a 2:21.4. Do expect that to get better over the sessions, as well. This will be the worst that the track is in over the event. Will be right here at the start, unless it rains like we had last week, where we had a dry free practice, And then in qualifying, we had roughly about 2 laps worth of dry running, and then it rained. Well, we've seen Heiko Sherman, unfortunately, then not being able to capitalise on going out late, as he was only able to do a lap 10 seconds off the pace. But that wasn't enough for third, but unfortunately for him, he then missed the start and had to start from pit lane, and then had some issues during the race where he had a disconnect. So that was very unlucky for him, but also for Jaroslav Galkov, who is in the McLaren. We had a very scary outcome for him that at the very end of the race, as he crossed the finishing line, he disconnected from game. Now I did check our overall leaderboard from the event, and he did get classified, as he was only 0.2 of a second behind Steen Witcher, who took the race win. So he was in second place, it did count for him, so all points were still fully instated, obviously. But that was a very scary moment, as literally crossing the line as disconnected from our servers. Obviously, as you can see, running in here today, looking all nice and good. Currently, Kent Eastet is only 1.4 seconds a lap slower than Miss Celine Witcher. As we say that, and Celine does go to a 2:21.0 now, so that will put Ken 1.8 seconds off. But again, Ken was racing here just last weekend for the iRacing Road League, I believe, or has just done it the week before, because we had Silverstone, I do believe, actually. I do apologise. So it still will be quite in his head, like, where this track layout goes. But again, iRacing to ACC is a very much different, especially when you're in GTE cars in the iRacing League and GT4 in this series for this season. Next season, as I said, we will be switching back to GT3 cars for GT World Challenge, or will be rebranded to GT Europe. And then after those races finish, so we'll have a 6-hour gap before starts. We could then hop in and out, and then we'll be having GT America start 6 hours after the same start time as GT Europe. Callum, jump in the server, buddy. You've got plenty of time. Still got 5 minutes of free practice, and then you've got the whole 15 minutes of qualifying. Get in here, get racing. You've got a brand new Moser wheel. Definitely want to jump in, mate, because any type of points for you will be great. I will bring up the points if you haven't been able to see them. You're currently sat in 9th place, tied with Chris Gianarelli. So just a good showing here. We'll be able to give you some more points. So jump yourself back in, get racing, and put that new wheel to the test. But at the moment, out on track, we have had a few lap times come in. Track limits here are very strict. Unlike most circuits, this is like most of the tracks in the UK, so like Snetterton, like Alton Park is. It's not the rumble strip that is the track limits here, it is the white line. So very tight, very technical, very easy to get off tracks here. I can remember watching the ADAC Masters, so like some of the top sim racers, and they within I think 10 minutes there's 2 cars that already had a drive-through penalty for it. Okay, Callum, I'll give you this weekend off. I'll give you this week, but over the week we'll get everything map sorted for you, get all your feelings correct, and you better be on grid for next season, for next race. And I will tell you what that next race will be because I'm on the list right now. Next event will be Monza, so very simple, Callum. 3 chicanes, 2 90 degrees rights, and 1 hairpin right, and a big sweeper right. You'll be fine. And then round 10 will be at Nürburgring, then Indianapolis for round 11, and then the end of the season will be on the 25th of November at Kyalami. Remember, next week though, guys, next week, as of tomorrow, the UK has their time of year change. Our clocks will go back an hour, because at the moment we are on 1900 UTC. Next week we'll be on 20 hours UTC, so keep that in mind. Bloodwolf, we're doing good. Good to see you out on circuit. Celine Richard puts another new fastest lap in. But Callum, as Joe said, just jump in and take out Celine for the points to be closer. For science, of course, because obviously Celine does have now quite a large gap to Heiko Sherman. Heiko is very close to losing his back-to-back championships here. Because don't forget, he's the season 1 champion, he's season 2 champion. Will he be able to take all 3 in a row? It's going to be an extremely hard for him to do so, but it's not out of the books just yet. All depends pretty much down to today's race. We'll have to wait and see. Mr. Kelly, as we can see, he's in pit lane as Heiko goes out and goes, "Shut up, Mike. You do not know what you're on about," as he goes out and puts a new fastest lap in of a 2:19.5. Saying, "Celine, you may have been able to be faster than me at a few rounds, but you're not going to be faster than me this week." As you can see, coming through the S's. The S's here were made to be a resemblance, oh, as Heiko gets loose there, of the Maggots and Beckett's complex at Silverstone. Don't think it really worked out that well, considering Maggots and Beckett's is a very fast system of corners, and the last couple of corners on those chicanes are actually very slow and very easy to get track limit warnings, so we'll have to keep out of that. So Celine is also out on track. Jaroslav Galkov, he's on the circuit, so at the moment in pits we have Kelly Step, who's currently 3rd on lap place. Reddy Garcia, who again hits his first race. As we end free practice now, so we'll be hopping over into qualifying any moment now. I just looked over in chat and I just seen that Joe said Heiko didn't want to win anything because he doesn't want to be known as our friend Terry. And instantly Terry comes back. Oh, this is why I love the Simpit community. You would not be able to get so much trash talking in such a lovely way that happens all the time with our drivers. It is something to calming and relaxing in a way. As Heiko's coming out just to finish off. We'll look back at Jaroslav Galkov and his McLaren. As he says that, he swapped instantly into the next session. So I need to get into game quickly, and we'll also have a look at how the weather looks like. So we have a 22 degrees air temp, 22 degrees track temp. Track is in optimum conditions. No sign of rain for the next half an hour, what is going to be good for our drivers. So Jaroslav Galkov is exiting pit lane. So the conditions are going to be roughly what we had for our GT America League here, so expect some nighttime running here today. So Selena, she's sat in pit lane. Joseph Galkov, he's out on circuit. Rennie Garcia, again, like I said, he's making his debut for 420 Motorsports in his Audi. Good to see an Audi out on grid today. Current champion, Heiko Sherman, he's sitting in pit lane at the moment. Not going to try and push for a lap just yet, it looks like. Knowing that he's not going to get caught out by rain. Just keep Kenny step part next to him. He's out on the track now. In the 420 Motorsports Mercedes AMG GT4. And we also have Mr. Alex Lafros. He's coming out in his Mercedes GT4. So it does look like Jaroslav Galkov, he'll be the first to take a lap time. So today we will see some of the LEDs on the cars. As you can see, Alex Lafros has his LED actually wrapped around the aerial on the roof of the car. So we'll have that little blue light on the top of his car all the way race. As he's in the chat saying he wants to do a Harley Quinn theme for the Mercedes, we can't get the colours to work, sadly. If not, Alex, we can try to make a Netherlands-based livery for you. So something like we're seeing in the FIA Motorsport Games this weekend. We had one of the esports races today. We also had the rally cars today going around. We had also historic rally cars, Deadman. They had an Audi Quattro and a Porsche, some Volvos, some Ladas. Great to see. We also had the drifting qualifications today for that. And the first qualifying race in the GT3 sprint races as well. So Callum, guys, ladies and gentlemen, Callum in the chat just said, I want an Ambrosia custard paint job. So you're moving away from your true and trusted art shirt sploosh liveries. So he wants to maybe do like a slash camel cigarette livery, but for Ambrosia custard. We may be able to sort something out for you for that for next season. So Selena Witcher is going to come across the line. I am going to bring up our times as she is now on her first flying lap. So the data you got at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, is just their race numbers. But I'm going to switch that race. I'm going to keep their numbers up for just at the moment. We are going to put their personal bests up at the moment. And then after everyone's got onto their first laps, we'll switch that over and then put their deltas on the right hand side. So you'll have that information instead. But we'll go through our cameras today. So we also have our helicopter cameras, our two TV camera systems. We have our onboard. You can see we look at Joseph Galkov up there. We look back from Heiko Sherman from the splitter view. Kenny he's got one of our roof cameras. We also have door cameras as well for our viewing today on the right hand side of the cars. So we do have a few different cameras that we normally use. Look at the understeer of that Mercedes there. A lot of steering input going on there. Cal Out is one of the guys who's got one of those new Logitech Pro force feedback wheels. As Jaroslav Galkov puts the first fastest lap in on the 2:20.40. 4:25. We will we'll have to see if that is going to be faster, but we have seen faster already in practice. So we'll have to see how it carries on, but Cow is going around. So at the moment, Celine Richard, even if she's out on a lap, is made her lap dirty. So Cow goes at 2:23.4. So he's 3 seconds off the pace at the moment. So Celine coming around the final turn. We'll get her lap started. But again, she did dirty her lap, so wasn't a clean lap what we were expecting from Celine. We will keep an eye on all cars as they come across the line, start their first lap. So Alex Lafros, he is on a lap, but unfortunately it is a dirty lap. We can keep it in track limits, Bloodwolf. You know, if this was still DKR, I'd be shouting in your ear. But I'll be shouting in your ear saying, come on, you can focus here, watch out for the track limits, just keep pushing, you'll be fine. Heiko Sherman, he's starting a lap as well. Cow out again, he's dirtied his lap. Ken Estep, he puts a lap in of a 2:23.0, so that puts him in second at the moment, in front of Kal. Rene Garcia, he's starting an out lap now. But Joseph Galkov, he is up on his time by 1.2 seconds at the moment. Just dropped down to 1.1. Let's see what he does on the exit. Stays at 1.1 and goes to a 2:19.295. New fastest lap for him. As I said, we will switch the personal bests over now, so you can see a couple of changes on the timer screen happening as we speak. So, as you can see at the moment, Joseph Galkov just very slightly up on his lap. As it went grey, that means he is dead on equal. This red, it is showing he's not slower, so at the moment he's just slightly slower. As Callum puts in the chat, Cosworth, Ken for the win. Well, Callum, the race you missed last week, Ken actually finished in third place in front of Heiko Sherman, as Heiko unfortunately had a disconnect in the race. And he did get back in, but unfortunately he was then 2 laps down off the leaders. Ken only finished 1 lap off the leaders, so... But that still didn't matter, because at the end of the day, Ken Estep did finish on the podium of last week's race. So Jaroslav Galkov just behind his best time so far. Oh! Talk about hitting a sausage curb. Can't go right up in the air there. Celine Rich, she is up on her time. But so is Ken Estep. Ken coming around the final turn. He's 4/10 up, so he's gained some time. He's now in the 22s. Celine Rich is in second place though. She is down on her time. 0.4 per second. It is still time to gain. She's currently sitting just 4/10 off Jaroslav Galkov, but she is down by 4/10, so she'll have to gain 8/10 in this last bit now, as she hits onto the back straight in shortly. So I do apologise. She's already gone down the back straight. My timer screen was lying to me where she was on the circuit then. But it's good to see multiple people taking part. Bloodwolf will definitely try to help you along with that. If not, we'll even try to outsource it for you. If you do get stuck, let us know in the chat. But don't forget, next season doesn't start till the next new year. It doesn't start till January. So we do have quite a bit of time. That's why on the 1st of next month is when we will be starting the roll-ups for next season. So we will have that capability to do new liveries. Rd8, that is such, dude. What we also will be doing, so this is at the moment our normal time for GT Europe. If you think 6 hours from now, this is when our GT America season will be running. So maybe if you're not working in 6 hours time that starts in the new year, you might be able to jump into our GT America series. Well, I'll actually be racing in GT America for next season again, and it looks like I might be possibly having the guys from Pit Stop TV doing our broadcast for that series. So if you keep an eye obviously in the Discord, because also to make sure people are in the Discord, because the full rulebook will have to be downloaded and raided, there is a password to join the season. It is going to be on the website, on our Discord pages for each round, or each category, sorry. There will be a password you have to enter just to be able to join this championship. And obviously for each race, the Simpit password will always be there. It can always change, but that is just to join the server. That is also helps with people who are not able to get into the server, because you must be on an entry list to get in. So Celine Richer currently, I think she's just on an outlap at the moment. So let's have a look at over at Rd8 Garcia. He's up on his time. He's currently in P3. Callum, I can make the password even your tag if I really wanted to. It is a long enough second to do your name if I have to do it. But it would be most likely Cow Light Loves Sploosh if it was something to do with you. I don't know anyone called Mikey, so it's all good, Callum. But now, just under halfway through, actually, nearly 3/4 of the way through practice qualifying, as there we go, Heiko Sherman goes, you can have done as many laps as you want. I've gone out and done 3 laps, and I just posted the fastest time of a 2:18.677. Man is absolutely flying in this Porsche. With Celine sitting currently in 3rd. This could get interesting further down the line. As we see Celine Richard, she is not on a lap yet again. But she's just crossed the line to start a new lap. But Rd8 Garcia, Can Step, Cow and Alex Lapros are all in the pits at the moment. So guys, next season, as I said in previous videos, also all events will be run using real life weather. So temperatures are going to be the average for that day, will be the average we put into the server. The rain possibility will be the same as what we do into that server. The only difference will be the times that we're doing the races. So some of the races will be at night, sometimes they will be early morning, daytime. All the times will vary individually. You'll be able to see that straight away as soon as you join the championship. So all events will be already posted up in there. The only thing, like I said, will change is the weather, and that information will be posted in the chats 1 hour before the race goes live, because we'll try to take it from that moment in time, what it's roughly going to be in real life for that event. So keep that in mind when you're doing setup work for next season. You are going to have to do rain setups. You are going to have to do dry setups. And even that possibility of a changing in the weather stuff. As Heiko Schumann is up again 1 second on his lap, putting in a 2:17.730. Absolutely dominating qualifying so far. His closest rival Jaroslav Galkov, at 2:19.2. That is a very, very big gap. That is no worries, Bloodwolf. If I can't help personally, we will most likely be able to find someone who is able to. Obviously, we have the wonderful world of race department where you can find a lot of custom liveries there. A lot of the guys don't mind if their only difference is like event logos getting put on it. That's the only thing I ever change anyway. Because we do have our door cards for next season already made. Joseph Galkov is on a tying his lap time at the moment. Let's see where he is on track. Just going through the S's. That's the corner there that always will make it harder because it's a slowly increasing right-hander at a fast left-right sector. But he is up in his time. Only just. Looks like he's just lost a couple of attempts. Celine Witcher, she's equal on her best at the moment as well. Guys look like they're jockeying for position up near the start line. Currently you've got Rennie Garcia and Cal out running line astern, those two 420 Motorsport cars. And they have Heiko Sherman just coming up behind them. Heiko just taking a cooling down lap before he hits another fast lap. No, Heiko Sherman saying, nope, don't need to, I'm coming into the pits, don't need to put another lap on these tyres. I am good and going to get ready for the main part of this event. It's going to be the 1 hour race. Again, these races have a 1 hour race with a 10-minute pit window. We'll open at the 25 minutes into the race marker and we'll close at the 35-minute marker where you have to change tyres. Sorry, there's absolutely no worries, my friend. That's the advantage of having our systems, and that you can see all the information as much as you need. So, Jaroslav Galkov is now on his last flying lap. Celine Witcher's in the pits. Rennie Garcia, he's in the pits. Cal L's in the pits. So, Ken Estep, currently 1.3 behind Rennie Garcia. Can he possibly pull his lap back? I don't think he's again, so I think he's unfortunately dropped it too much earlier on. Yeah, Kenny Step is dropping off the lap time now, so we'll have to look over at him. So it's like he's going to start 5th on the grid. Yeah, so he's jumping into pit lane. So, all down to Jaroslav Galkov. Let's go on board with him for the last part of this. See, he's 0.4 of a second down on his best lap. not what he needs. We're going to need to gain a lot of time in this last sector now. It's really hard to gain time here. It's more just trying to not lose anymore than trying to gain time here. So he's just keeping on that 0.4 second down on his best now. Looks like the front end's just now not sticking for him, so he's losing just a couple more attempts. So I'm going to call it now. Heiko Sherman is going to take pole today from Jaroslav Galkov. Celine Witcher in third, and he cancels the lap. So, as we head now onto the grid, it is Heiko Sherman on pole. So as you can see, it has got dark at the race. We did say it's going to get darker. But I'm going to have a look just into the game very, very shortly. So track temp has dropped down now to 20 degrees. Air temp is also at 20 degrees. No rain for the next half an hour. So 1 km/h wind. I very doubt we'll see any rain today for these drivers. I cannot put a message into the chat at the moment to say headlights on. So we will have to wait till the green light goes before I can put a message in, unfortunately. But we will run down the grid. So, first place we have Heiko Sherman. Second place, Jaroslav Galkov. Third place, Celine Witcher. Fourth place, Rennie Garcia. In fifth place, Ken Estep. In sixth place, the Cal L. In seventh place will be Alex Lafros. So, 7 guys to make the grid today. We'll have to see how everyone gets on. But whilst we do that, I'm going to change some of the overlay information. So whilst we do that, we'll have a look over at the track overlay. As the cars are getting ready on the grid to get going. So we'll have a look again at the current point standing. So Celine Witcher in first place with 161 points, from Heiko Sherman with 122. Jaroslav Galkov on 91 points. Steve McCaffrey, he's not here today. He's on 64 points. Ken Estep, he's on 55 points. He could catch up to Stephen McCaffrey here, and maybe even, if possible, if we get a race like last week, even overtake him in the points. He is also tied with Natalie Lee. She's not here today. She's on 55 points from her KTM. Alex Lafros on 22 points, only just in front of Cal L, who's also here today on 20 points. Callum McLeod, he's in the chat. He's not racing today. Chris Generelli, both those guys are on 10 points. Wouter Van Murik, who's not here, he's on 6 points. Duncan Booth, again, he's only just got his PCs back up and running. He's on 0 points. But Rennie Garcia, he is here today for his first race of the season in his Audi. So we'll hopefully see him jump up quite a way into the points today. And Ola Snarkvis, again, in the other Camaro, he's not been made to make it as of yet. So, as you can tell, cars are on the grid. They'll be leaving the grid just very shortly. So, we will get ready to get going. Cars' headlights are coming on now. We are going to be running a full formation lap here for the GT4s, because for the GT4s there is no such thing as tyre blankets. The cars' tyres will be stone cold. Not the way you want to start a race in these cars. So we do give them the option to get these tyres a little bit hotter, get some more grip into them. Now Bloodwolf, that is something I can do. I can do you the full new ACCA livery in your colours. I could even then we can incorporate some of the logos for you as well. So that might be one we'll be able to do. But good luck in today's race. Let's see you maybe climb up some more places. So you can see the guys with the LEDs on. I do believe that Rennie Garcia's LEDs are not on actually. The ones for the Audi are wrapped around the grille. And I did not see him on in free practice, so I do believe, no, he does not have any on. But we will have a look over Alex Laffers. As I said, his one is actually on the roof of his car. Shining off that little aerial that's on the roof. Car just in front of us. So both Mercedes at the back of the grid. Mercedes here in the GT4 is actually quite a strong car, but it's dominantly shown that the Porsche here is still one of the strongest, if not the strongest, of them all. So we look over from Kenny Eastep, looking back there at Count-Out. From the Audi. Looking down the back street, you can see there the search beam lights that are coloured. There is actually a little party going on behind the next two corners. So that is a little Easter egg for you guys to have a look at in game yourself. Also the tower here changes colours as well. Now there is a little party going on just over here behind the stands that you might be able to see in a couple of shots if we are on board with the right cars. In the rear view mirror you will see the lights dancing away behind. Just coming now up into the very last few corners, coming up to the quad right hander, two left handers, and we'll be underway. You see Overwatch tower there, here at Circle Rose colour changing. So cars will be getting told now to go too wide. So now head up towards the start line. Rennie Garcia going up. Come on, go forward. That's want to be kept at the very back of the box. You want to be up as far as possible, but not breaching it. That you are out of position. Callum, no worries. So just waiting for the lights to go green. And we are underway for round 8 of the championship. As you can see the time, 1 hour to go. Ken Eastep diving for third place. Got a little contact there with Celine Witcher. Nothing really damaging there. He was the one who lost out the most, so don't think there will be a penalty involved between those two. Celine did keep a place up in third. But Ken Eastep must have got a great launch off the line. we'll just keep with the front group until we hit the back straight, and then we'll have a look at that incident between Ken and Celine. So we're now on the back straight, so let's have a look at that incident. If our camera system will work, and it is not working, we should have entered our other seat. So unfortunately you cannot look back at that incident, but luckily there's enough of us. Oh, Alex Lafros going very, very deep there. But out in front, pulling away already, it's Mr. Heiko Sherman. What I'm going to do, guys, I am going to bring up my race control app, my other race control app, I should say, because I do run two, and this will be able to say if there's any other contact for the rest of the race. I do apologise that it wasn't there in the first place. So this is going to work for me. So my normal system that I run for that is not working, so unfortunately we do have no main race control apps for me to be instantly go back to look at the crashes at any point in time. But Celine Richer is currently fastest on track, with the only one who has a valid lap time actually. Everyone else's lap times did not count, they were all dirty lap times, but her was the only clean one, even though she had the contact with as Count Owls made an incident. My system now is starting to lag, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologise for this. So if you can bear with me just one, I'm just going to have to restart the timing screens. If our system here doesn't work, we will have to go back just to standard in-game cameras, and we'll have to do everything manually, what I'm hoping we don't have to do. But the system is now not starting to read, so I do believe there's some issues going on. So I just had to close that just for the moment. So what I'll have to do is come into game. We'll have to go back to old school just for this moment in time, just whilst I get these back up. So unfortunately I cannot give you the race timings or anything at this precise moment. I do apologise for this. Because if it does stay this way, it's going to be very, very hard for me to do the forecast for you. I do apologise. So it does look like I've actually had a system problem here. So we're going to actually have some major issues here in this race. So I'm going to have to go very old school and hopefully it doesn't crash too hard for us. Okay, so I am going to have to use stuff very awkwardly. I do apologise for this delay, guys. So what I'm going to have to do is change up a few little things in game, so bear with me one moment. So there we go, I've made the information a little bit higher for you, so I do apologise for this. Hopefully I am still live. But as you can see, out front is Heiko Sherman. Second place is Jaroslav Galkov, who has Celine Witcher right behind him. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you any gaps at the moment in time or anything. This does seem to be the battle on circuit. Celine looks to the inside of Jaroslav Galkov. But look at the gap they have already to gain to get back up to Heiko Sherman. So I'm going to bring up as much information as I can for you here. So we do have the race clock for you now as well. I do apologise that our system has stopped working properly. Do you know what has happened, and it will not reconnect, so we are back down to complete bog standard systems today. It does make this a little bit harder to broadcast. I am trying constantly to get this thing to fire back up. But we will stick with the battle whilst we're doing this in the background. Because we'll be limited to certain cameras now as well, unfortunately. I'm just going to try a few other things in the background to see if I can get it to work. I do apologise, guys. This is the first time I have had an issue with this. I'm just trying to sort as much as possible, but we have seen the change for P2. Celine Witcher has got past Jaroslav Galkov. Again, these two are fighting on track, but it's the gap between Celine Witcher and Heiko Sherman in the championship points that is going to be the big changer in this race. But we'll stick with the fight for a little bit longer, and then we'll have a look through the rest of the drivers. Okay, so I'm just going to try one more time, ladies and gentlemen, just to see if I can get this back working. Hopefully we can get it to work. But it does look like it has crashed me, and I cannot get it back, unfortunately. So we are going to be stuck with the in-game overlays today, guys. I do apologise for this. As you know, I do try to get as much running as possible for us. So it's going to be very difficult to do timings. I'm going to try to map actually some buttons so we can actually change some of the things quickly. So I'll have a look through. So as you can see, we've got more timings here, but this is what I want to get now up on the controls. So I'm going to have to change some bits because I've actually got my around wheel on and not my normal. Okay, so let's change it to the same. Okay. So let's see if it's worked. There we go. So we do have some timings now. So as you can see now, Celine Richard does have a 12.2 second gap to Heiko, who's on lap 5. I do apologise that we've had to go into complete manual systems. I haven't been done this now for a long time. Jaroslav Klas goes wide, but this will tell us instantly if someone gets a penalty, so keep an eye on the timing screen. Because on the right hand side, if they get a penalty of any type, the game will automatically now pop up and tell us. So I will bring up the chat again. We'll have a look further back down the grid. See, Renny Garcia in his Audi. He's done it for his current best lap times are 2:26.2. His last lap was a 2:24, but again, that was definitely not a clean lap. Ken Estep in 5th place. That's a good for him. He's only 5 seconds back. Cal Elf going deep and really quite far now behind. Let's have a look over at Alex Lafros. Another Mercedes going extremely deep. Out in front is Heiko Schurman. Running away as he always does. But the battle is still on between Celine and Jaroslav. Can Jaroslav start holding this time back? It's already 1.6 seconds down now from Celine. So I'm just going to try our other cameras a minute and see what we've got. Okay, so we do have access to all of our cameras. That's going to be have to be manually selected. What this means is that we can do some very special cameras whilst we're driving. So let's head over to Heiko Sherman. As you can see, he does have his endurance lights on. So let's see if we can do this whilst he's driving. So this is one of our camera angles you never normally see. Do a camera that we see in some of our other leagues that I take part in myself. So we do look up at the stars there. There we go, we'll have a roof cam from Heiko Sherman for a couple of laps. That's a big slide. So the last timing being Heiko's 16-second lead to Celine, who has a 2 seconds lead now over Joseph Galcon. Gaps are starting to open up between everyone now. So we'll have to see how it pans out further on down in the race. A bit deep there for Heiko. You see the party going on in the background. Never ending right hand turn, killing the left front. And we'll switch back over to our TV cameras. See how other drivers are getting on. Max Lafros and Mercedes. It does look like Mercedes is not wanting to slow down properly. There's so many corners. Cal having more of a slide there in his Mercedes as well. Maybe the Mercedes has not got the setups right for today. Max Lafros right on the over there on the dirty line. Just pick up some marbles on those tyres. Goes Ken eased up. With that very lovely Camaro. As we said before, one of the best sounding cars in this game. Really Garcia pushing it out as hard as he can. Joseph Galkov doesn't look like he's got his full headlights on. So can't see that endurance light on, but he does have his rain light on. But we will have a look at our P2 Celine Richer. Why is that man not in the Mustang? That is because they did not put the Mustang in the GT4 pack. Or in the British GT, what we were expecting it to be because of the season. But when they put the British GT pack in, they put it in the 2019 season. So the Mustang didn't exist in the GT4 series back then, nor did the Toyota Supra GT4. Bloodwolf, that's no worries, my friend. If your back hurts, don't push yourself, my friend. If you stay in to the end of the race, on the track, like in pit lane, it will automatically register your points. If not, I can add them manually afterwards. But if your back's hurt too much, my friend, do not race. Look after yourself. And again, guys, I do apologise that our overlay system has completely crashed on me. I cannot get it back up and working. Hence why we are having to use the standard in-game overlay system at the moment. What makes it very hard for me to be able to shift between cars and give you all the information that we normally have. But what you will be able to see now is if anyone makes a mistake in the pit stop, it'll automatically come straight up on this screen and let you know something that's missing from ACC TV because the game doesn't actually give out that information. So they can't write any coding for it for the overlay system. What can and is a very big nightmare. But as you can see, Which now has a 5.2 second gap now to Joseph Galkov. So, Bloodwolf, if you stay in server, actually you got 40 minutes. If you want to jump out, jump out. I will mark it down as you were definitely in P7, and I'll make sure that the points are correct after the race. If it doesn't show that they're correct by the end of today, they will be tomorrow. So that is fully down to you if you want to stay and watching for the rest of the race, apart from in-game yourself, or obviously watching the stream as well. But I will make sure that your points are activated to you. But again, buddy, if you're in too much pain, do not race. As we always say, health, family, work, anything else becomes before sim racing. Sim racing is just a hobby, it's just something to enjoy. None of us here are getting paid to do this. Not even myself. Not any of us. We're all here just because we love sim racing. But health, work, family all become first. So don't worry yourself, don't beat yourself up about it. Enjoy the rest of the race from either from a spectator's point of in-game or just in the broadcast alongside myself. So Sleep just keeping a gap now to Joseph Galkov. But Heike Show's already broken the beam into Sector 2. Hence why the gap is now not shown between those two. I have some issues again. There we go, our system's now working again. It's going to have to flick through manually. Using Alex Afros, unfortunately he is retiring the car, as we know. He's shown us a lap down, but that's because he hadn't crossed the start line at that point. But here comes our race leader, Heike Sherman. So, pit window opens in 15 seconds from now. You'll see the pit window open up on this timer screen above us. So I do apologise that we had a complete failure of our normal broadcasting system. There you go, pit window is open and it also has a clock on it so you can see exactly how long's left. Again, this is information that ACC has in-game but doesn't broadcast out, so we can't use the data to put it into our overlay systems. So it all has to be done manually. But Heiko's like, no, I'm not taking my... Nearly locking those rear wheels there, Heiko. So Heiko's last up at 221.0, not his best. His best is a 218.540. Again, all this information is on the bottom of your screen for you, on your bottom right. If you're wondering why it's showing some non-flags for people, so you'll see their race number, see what class they're in, but there's no flag again. That is something that ACC does put out, but the guys over at Simulation GP don't give the information for. So all drivers are non-nationality in their eyes. So it's another thing that I nitpick at. I'm just like, come on, it's just something so simple. It's just one piece of coding that can just be. It's automatically when you sign up to Simulation GP, it asks you what country you're part of. Just put the information into the code of when we make the files for the game. It's very easy. It's part of the natural coding for multiplayer, and it can be implemented. It's just literally flag or country flag, and then it's just a number. That's all it needs to make. It's very simple. It just seems that they do not want to do it. So 8 minutes to go in the pits. Joseph Gavkov still just running with his main lights on and rain light, not running his full endurance headlights. As we see, there has been a change. Ken Estep is up into 4th place, ahead now of Rennie Garcia. So, we say about stuff happening. This is stuff happening. Ken Estep now up into 4th place. So things have definitely changed here. So this could get very interesting here. So Joseph Galkov does have the time he needs to be in pit on the pits for. Gap to Ken. The stationary time is 30 seconds. For change of tyres in sim. As Joseph Galkov is in pit lane, you've just seen the P bar come up next to his number. If I was him myself, that I would not come just in because he's going to come out not far behind these two drivers here if they stay out. So we're going to stick with this one because this is the battle that we can see actually on the racetrack right now. So, I do believe Rennie Garcia making a big mistake again. Was he looking for pit road entrance there and just messing the braking up? It's something I cannot rewind, I cannot see. But as you can see, Joseph Galkov pits has cleaned. The timing screens will not change until they go past the sectors, unfortunately. Ooh, not nice, Bloodwolf. Not nice at all. You're talking, as you know, someone who's very well known for their problems with their back, so I can completely understand. Completely understand. So Joseph Galkov, as I was saying, has cleaned his pit stop up. That he did not speed the pit lane. His pit stop is good. So he is 24 seconds back from Rennie Garcia. So that's total pit time is roughly around a whole minute from pit in to pit out, including that 30 seconds stationary time. Rennie Garcia going wide yet again. It's not good for him. As we see Cal L, he is in the pits in his Mercedes. Hogan Sherman staying out for yet another lap. So he's cleared his pit stop. So this is where it gets interesting now, flicking through these timing screens because they're going to be all over the place right now. As Rennie Garcia is going very, very slowly. Has he caught himself out and ran out of fuel? I think Renny Garcia has ran out of fuel where he missed that pit stop. So that is something you don't want to see, considering that's his first race with us. So just keep an eye on us now. See Cal here in P6, trying to get some temperature up in these tyres, but he has run in. Don't want to run out there into all the rubber, because when you're picking up tyres, that will automatically start graining those tyres, whilst those tyres are still getting hot. So Celine Richard is still in P2. Heiko, 23-second gap. So can he step? He is in pit lane. He's cleared his stop. And he is on the move. As Heiko Sherman is now coming into pit lane. Getting on the pit limiter very early. But he's got all the time in the world here to take his stop. Cal Hauser now, he's taking his stop. Celine Richard, she's now in pit lane as well. So this will give Cal L now 5th place from Renny Garcia. So we'll look over at Jaroslav Galkov, see where he is out on circuit. So I can tell, even though we've got drivers from all over the world taking part, Jaroslav Galkov does have quite a high ping, that's why it's in the orange bar, but it's stable, and that's the main thing. Even though it's a high ping, it's stable. So Heiko Sherman, he is on pit exit, and he's cleared his pit stop completely. No penalty for him. Celine's, her pit stop was completely valid. Is she going to come out clean? Something here, her car just rolling down. She's out of pit lane. Her pit stop was clean as well. So everyone who has took their pit stop, who are still running, has cleared. Renny Garcia is out on track. I will clear that penalty for him. That will come up at the end of the race, because he will not be able to get back around to do yet another stop. So I will put a message in the in-game chat at a second. So the guys in the race would see that penalty marker that I just reviewed. So as you can see, as we're actually on this screen at the moment, that the wind has picked up to 3 knots now. Oh, sorry, 3 kilometers per hour. And we have lost 1 degree in temperature. So not much loss, but just enough that those tyre pressures that they were running may not be now good enough. They may have needed to put an extra PSI in the tyres just to get around. So you see, can he step now with quite a big gap to P5. Just off Galkov. See, he's got these hotter tyres than Celine. The Celine should be near enough up to full pressure now. But out in front, it is Heiko Schürmann. Showing his absolute dominance as per usual. Do not call him a robot for no reason. But guys, tomorrow, if you go over to the Simpit live on Twitch, we will be having our Patreon race. We'll be in the Formula V at Rashkogan, what is in Norway, on iRacing platform for our Patreon race. Patreon race is obviously for guys who support the Simpit financially through Patreon. So every single month we do a special race for all the guys who take part in the Patreon system, appreciation, and give something back to you. So each driver, Heiko, trying to demonstrate his drifting techniques there as he comes up to the back of Rennie Garcia. So Patreon race will be tomorrow. That will be streamed on the Simpit Live Twitch channel, not the YouTube channel, the Twitch channel. So make sure to go over there and watch the race from Mr. Sean Cole's view, but also there will be a camera watching over most exciting or the leader, depending on what we set up. We most likely will be set on watching the most exciting or the leader. Actually, I'm not 100% sure which one he'll do. It's normally set on to most exciting, as Rennie Garcia says, no, I know I've gone slightly wide, just go for it, I'm not going to try to hold you up, there's no need. Clever racing there from Rennie Garcia. So yeah, Patreon race, the first one after the summer season break, will be in the Formula V at Rashkogan. And then don't forget, next week here at the Simpit ACC live stream, so next Friday, we will be at Monza. Fast track. Even the GT4s, they can take the curbs, so they are very nimble there. Lap times normally are only around 8 seconds a lap slower than the GT3s, because it's not down to the downforce of that track, it is down to just the speed. And between a GT3 and a GT4, there is actually not much power difference. It's just that you're on a slightly smaller tyre and obviously have a lot less downforce than a GT3. So, top speed wise, they're not that much slower. So that will be one to look out for. Then the week after, we'll be heading obviously to the Nürburgring, then Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and then our final race will be at Kyalami in South Africa. First time that will be on the season for the drivers. So it'll be good to see how they cope with a new circuit. So Heiko Schürmann currently with a 21.3 second lead at the last set of timing beams. Just off Galkov, nearly 5 seconds back from Celine. Again, I can't give you the exact times between every single driver, purely the fact of we don't have the capabilities, as I've said before. If you've only just joined with us, our main timing screens have gone down completely and have failed on us. That's why we had to revert back to the original in-game overlays as well. With 19 minutes and 30 seconds to go, we will have a look at the points here. So, as you can see, Heiko is behind on points, but he'll gain 25 points from today's win. Celine Witcher, if she stays in P2, will gain 18 points. So, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Because the points championship is starting to close quite heavily now. And we will bring the cameras back over to the live action quickly. And I'll go through the points that we have for each championship. So for first place you get 25 points, second place gets 18, third place gets 15 points, fourth place gets you 12 points, fifth place will get you 10, sixth place will get you 8, 7, 6 points, 8 will get you 4 points, ninth will get you 2 points, and 10th will get you 1 point, and then any cars below that, unfortunately, you do not get any points. So it's only in the top 10. We are running the F1 point systems. Again, we can customize these in the future, so we might do that also. Depending on signups for next season. Again, this is something I went over very shortly in the last video, and the last stream, sorry. Depending on the amount of signups we get for the season, if we are in the two lots of double figures, so if we've got 20 cars or more for the next season, GT3 Europe and GT3 America, the final race will be a special 2-hour race and worth double points. So first place in the final will end up giving you 50 points. That could massively change an entire season in that final race. But again, we will need high numbers for entries to do that 2-hour race and to be able to have that through the entire season. Because at the moment, yes, we have our entries enough for our trophies. We have the amount of races for the trophies. We need the commitment from the drivers to be to come and take part, to make it valid in the eyes of the big boss, Mr. Sean Cole, for a championship trophy. But I think just because of the amount of effort we do, and that we always make sure we have a 12-round season, I think we're always going to be on that valid cusp of having a trophy for our race winners. So Heike Schumer now, I do apologise for that yawn, has now a 24.8 second lead to Celine Witcher, who has a 5.6 second lead to Jaroslav Galkov. Reddy Garcia, as we see, he is back out on track, still circulating. Did run out of fuel on circuit, so he had to tow back to the pits, and then the time he got back out on track, he was not able to serve the mandatory pit lap time because it only counts as when you drive into the pits. That's why it's still showing that he has an outstanding pit stop. Let's just see Celine just giving already at distance a heads up there with a couple of flashes of her headlights. Well, you know what we'll do the same camera trick as we did with Heike Schumer earlier on in today's race. We'll give you this roof camera for a couple of laps. And she goes deep. Not what she wants to do, because you can see just in the background here, there's Jaroslav Galkov trying to close this gap. watch the race down. 1/4 left of the race to go. I do believe positions are going to be as they are from now on, unless something happens to Celine and Jarosov is able to pass, but he has been slowing through the race. Celine has been gaining time. I do apologise for that camera movement then. As we see Celine flashing the headlights now, just saying to Rennie, at distance, I am coming. Be prepared to let the faster car go. You don't have to get off race line. Just please do not defend for me. As Rennie just goes, no, I'm just going to bail out of it. It's a sensible thing, just gets off the race line completely. Celine nearly outbraked herself there, just from continuing past. The helmet now, like looking to slide, he's putting through the car. So yes, Jarosław Gałko is not running his lights at full beams. As we can tell, his interior light is not on. And we'll come to his roof, as he makes his way up to Mr. Rennie Garcia as well. So let me know, guys, if you would like me to talk to the guys from ACC TV about having this as a camera view, having the front viewing camera from the roof. I do believe it would be good to have. But I will show you one camera that I have seen in a couple of other leagues. I'll show you through Alex Lafros, because unfortunately he is not racing, as he has told us. He is unfortunately injured himself whilst at work. So this is a bit easier on the GT3 car. So I'm just going to try to find the slot for this one. It will be roughly through here, looking through the grille of the Mercedes. As we can run the camera wherever we like on here. As you can see, that's his little LED strip hits on the wing. We can even have the camera right back here looking forward, what I think would be another good camera. Look at Mr. Kenny's step. There's Ken 2. Ken's in the last corner. Countdown 24 seconds back. But it is Heiko Sherman just running rampant on the league as normal. Nearly back up to 30-second lead from Celine. We will ride on board with Jarosław Gałko. You just see Celine just in the distance. We want to try to close this 4-second gap in the last 10 minutes now in the race. As I said, look at the Easter egg. We can see the lights there in the rear view mirror flashing away. And what we'll do, if you stick around to the end of the race, as the cars come across the line at the end of the race, we will go over and see what that Easter egg is that is actually happening over there. Why is there lights flashing? We'll go and have a look. For a splitter, there for the rear view. Side cam. We'll quickly stay on side cam. So go from Celine. Keep it as steady as possible. Not trying to put too much throttle in. And I just thought about it. Yes, Bloodwolf, you could completely right. I completely forgot. We're also going to have, that has been confirmed, it's confirmed at the Spa 24 Hours by Marco, who is the big boss at Kunos. And Kunos, yes, as you can tell, the logo is a cat, and it's his cat's name. It's Kunos. We will be having the GT2 class added to the Assetto Corsa Competizione. We're just waiting on a release date for that to come out. There has been no telltale signs of anything yet so far, but as soon as we know that they are coming, you will see all the information up on our Discord at the Simpit. You'll also see it in our Simpit news again. That's on the Twitch channel every Friday at 5 PM UK time. So 5 PM UK is when the Simpit news goes live on Twitch, where we show off some of the sim racing news that's going on in the world. Today we looked over that, obviously, that the company SimCube have releasing a new pedal. Well, it's not. Cal L has just got a drive through it. I'm guessing the only reason he got that is track limits. And as we know, track limit penalties are by game, and we do not clear track limits. The only penalty we do clear is a drive-through penalty. Sorry, not a drive-through, a stop-go penalty that you get for any pit-in lane infringement when we drop down to a stop-go 30 in the pits, we drop it down to just a drive-through. And if you get a drive-through penalty in the pits, it gets to add into a 15-second time penalty, added to your time. Drive-throughs for track limits, that's out of my control. We have always said drive-throughs on that is mandatory. That's your fault for driving and pushing yourself too far off track constantly. Pit lanes, as you can see, all drivers are now getting their pit lane spot on. We haven't had a pit lane penalty now for most of the season. It's good to see. But Cal L does have a drive-through for track lane, so he will have to take that within the next 3 laps of him crossing the start line. Let's see how he's showing. Has got past him as well. So from this lap, as he's going to cross the line, he will have 2 laps remaining to serve the penalty. So deep on brakes. Doesn't look like he's got the brake balance sorted on the car. Looks like maybe a bit too far forward. It's just pushing on the brakes, so he's just trying to push a little bit too far. And you see Mr. Kennedy step here. Looks like he's definitely secured 4th place now with Cal having that drive through. So you see when he got, so he's got quite a few laps down now, but he's still getting motoring around. Just down from now, 6.7 seconds away from Celine. With under 5 minutes to go now, so I do believe that's how it is going to stay for the end of this race. as Rennie Garcia has also now just got a drive-through for track limits. Both of the 420 motorsport cars now have track limit penalties that they have to serve. And I do believe if Rennie Garcia doesn't clear it by the time the race ends, with his penalty that he's going to have for the failure of the mandatory pit stop, it will automatically disqualify him from the race. Well, I'll have to very, very quickly reinstate. So for that reason, I'm just going to come into here and put codes in. So I can clear penalties if and when they're needed. So that is the track map, as you can see right there now. So you can see Heiko Sherman is already nearly all the way along. So he's coming into braking zone now in turn 1 as Celine is only halfway through the 4 apex right-hander. Kal-El pushing this to the very last lap. He will have to pit this lap or the penalty will increase. I can't remember if we have set it so it will disqualify him automatically. I don't think we have that penalty marker on. But it's something I would not want to push and find out. So 5th place has a drive-through. Rennie Garcia, who's 2 laps down, he has a drive-through as well. He's staying out. He's gonna have to pit to serve that penalty. Next time by, we have to see where Heiko Schumann is on track. They will have to serve it this time by. They will have to serve it next time past the pits. Heiko still throwing this Porsche around. I would not want to do it too much. The graining will become to the point where the car then just becomes too unstable the entire time. I think there might be a couple you're missing there. But I'm not 100% sure because I think the brand new Ferrari is also going to come to that pack. So, Heiko Schumann is on his final lap of the race. Kal-El is coming to serve his drive-through now. That's what he had to do. We're going to have a look through and make sure Rennie Garcia comes and serves his one as well. Because Rennie Garcia, he's already on... Oh, sorry, Kal-El's on the final bit for it as well. Rennie, I think he had another lap, but he won't have another lap to do as it's coming out to time expire. So he has to pit now, as we know. Heiko Schumann is on final lap. And again, next season drivers, you will have to be in Discord. You can mute up, you can do anything you want. But you will have to be in the Discord voice chat. And at the end of the race, if you are lucky to get the race win, you'll be then dragged into the green room. And then I'll drag you into the booth for a little tiny interview, see how your race went. And then you will be free to go. But as we come up to the very end of the race now, Heiko Schumann, another absolute dominant race from him. Yes, Terry. Literally, I just said it as your message came through on my chat saying that Heiko has been dominant today. And he has. Again, I'm sorry that my timing screen system, my timing broadcast system, completely died on me. So that's why we're back to the standard in-game overlay system here. I think the last timing beam that was available, 33.9 second gap to Celine. And to take the win will be Heiko Sherman for Whipperman Racing. So well done, Heiko. He takes today's victory. As the flares now make their way out on circuit. I'm just going to try to cycle through now to find camera angles. As we see the fireworks there going off behind the main grandstand here at Circuit of the Americas. Stephen Richard comes home in second, Joseph Galkov in third. But the one who I'm most impressed about here, Mr. Ken Eastep, gonna come home in fourth place. Count hours across the line. But what we'll do is we'll go to the special cameras. We'll go high up into the sky now. Look over the fireworks over the far side of the circuit. We're still latched onto Ken, so that's why I'm having to manually have a look over. It's great to see the fireworks going off. And as we come around here, we'll have a look why I said about those lights that you can see in the mirror. There is a party, there is a stage going on over there where there is people dancing in that crowd. It's not all static, there is actually people dancing in that crowd. What is unique to this track. So I just need to do this quickly. So that should have cleared all the penalties, but I don't think it has, unfortunately. But the penalty will be fine anyway, as unfortunately Alex Lafros was not able to make the end of the race due to the pain he is in. But congratulations to all drivers taking part. Celine Witcher tried to call back into Heiko, but Heiko just pushing it out all the way through today's race. Ending with that big gap at the end. But guys, I'm going to turn off, not that for Phil actually, sorry. I'm going to turn the enable disables off. And what we'll do is the cars will keep cycling around here. I'll have a look over at the party for the final. Goodbye from today. So guys, from myself and everyone at the Simpit, take care and good night. Again, I do apologise that our system completely crashed on us and that we had major issues for today's stream. But guys, thank you for joining. We'll see you next week at Monza. So take care and we will see you then. Bye for now.